How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we got a story time of a psychopathic Skibidi Toilet Kid who almost ends the life of his teacher because the teacher forced him to stop watching Skibidi Toilet videos in class. I just keep on getting sent the most insane Skibidi Toilet Kid videos ever, and it goes to show you that the Skibidi Toilet brain virus is real and terrible. So leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and enjoy stories, and let's just get right into it. Anyway, so we're gonna call the subscriber who submitted this story Jack. So if you don't know, there's been this thing going around called the Skibidi Toilet virus, where basically it normally starts over the summer, but can happen at any time. Mostly kids will be sitting there watching a few Skibidi Toilet videos. But pretty soon, sure enough, the only thing that they watch are Skibidi Toilet videos. And then soon, the only form of entertainment that they consume are Skibidi Toilet videos. And then soon, basically the only thing that they do is watch Skibidi Toilet videos, listen to the Skibidi Toilet Song, or communicate only in Skibidi Toilet verses. It gets really, really bad. And I've had many examples on this channel of kids with Skibidi Toilet virus, but this might be one of the most deranged cases we've seen in a second. So definitely prepare yourself. So we're calling the subscriber Jack, and there's a kid who over the summer caught the Skibidi Toilet virus. Jack doesn't know this kid very well. We'll call him Ben for the sake of the storytelling. But basically, Ben was apparently, as Jack told me, a fairly normal kid before all this happened. Ben was not like, I don't know, the most outgoing, the most noteworthy. It's not as if Jack and Ben were super close friends. Therefore, Jack could give me a ton of details on Ben. But what Jack is trying to say is that Ben was a fairly normal kid before the whole Skibidi Toilet virus infected him. So over the summer, what likely happened was that Ben started to watch a few Skibidi Toilet videos and then slowly went through the stages of the progression of the virus, and now he's became completely controlled by the Skibidi Toilet. So anyways, almost immediately when they got back to school, this kid Ben was just in class because Jack and Ben had one class this semester or this year together. And immediately, like, Ben would be in the back of class just going like, Skibidi bop bop bop, yes, yes, Skibidi bop bop beep beep, just all class. All class. Jack was honestly trying to hold it together through the whole thing, but it was getting real difficult, man. Because just imagine you have some little kid in your class let's go like Skibidi bop bop bop, yes, yeah, dude. I would actually get up. Okay, I'm not gonna say on camera I would hit a kid, bro. That's not what I'm trying to say. All I'm trying to say is I would find a solution to the problem. No matter the means, I would find a solution to the problem because that right there is a problem. It's not conducive to a learning environment. Okay. I just want a good learning environment for everyone, obviously. Guys, that is clearly what I'm saying. Don't make stuff up in the comment section. Anyways, though, so since day one, Ben has been very clearly infected by the Skibidi Toilet virus, but no one really knew how bad it was because there are some more harmless cases where the kids are just really, really annoying and won't stop screaming Skibidi bop, yes, yes, every single second. And then there are the more dangerous cases. I mean, we've covered a few already on the channel, and you can watch those after this one, but this is probably one of the most dangerous cases we've seen in a second. Yeah, so sure enough, the subscriber, every single day in class, would just hear Skibidi bop bop beep beep in the back of class. He was going insane. Until one day, he didn't hear it anymore. So basically, what the Skibidi Toilet Kid, Ben, what happened was he started to bring in his tablet into class. And by the way, this is not a school, nor this is a class where it's very chill or allowed for kids to bring their phones and tablets and be on them. I think you're allowed to have your phone for like communication reasons. I think they tried to outright ban that, but they were getting way too much pushback from parents being like, I need to reach my son. How can I reach him if he doesn't have the phone? Like, I don't trust the teacher to call the teacher and then have them communicate. Like, I need constant communication with my son or something. So they got one parent to complain about that. So they weren't allowed to, like, straight up ban phones. They weren't allowed to straight up ban phones. But they more or less said, like, okay, if you're on your phone, you need to be communicating with your parents or some emergency has to be happening or we're going to take them away. Which they were pretty strict. There's a lot of schools now, I'd say the majority of high schools really just don't even care, which is kind of sad because back when I used to go to school, like, I think phones Phones were starting to emerge towards the end of 7th grade. I think a little bit in 7th grade, maybe towards the end of 6th grade. So I got so many years completely unaffected by phones or being on your tablet all day. And you really had to like communicate with other people. You were forced to talk to other people. You were forced to make friends. It was genuinely nice. I don't know. Maybe we should consider going back to that for a little bit. At least the formative years, kindergarten through 8th grade, maybe no phones. I think that's not a bad call. At high school, whatever do you want to do? Anyways, though, so it was like, one day when all of a sudden, the subscriber Jack no longer heard the Skibidi Toilet Kid Ben screaming his Skibidi Toilet lyrics. He looks back because he's confused. He's like, oh, is Ben out for the day? Is he sick or something? But no, Ben is sitting where he always sits in the back of the classroom. But he very obviously has his tablet in with these wired headphones, earbuds, not headphones, these wired earbuds in. So very clearly he's watching a video. And it just seems like the teacher isn't noticing. I mean, to be fair, the teacher probably might have noticed a little bit, but as long as Ben isn't being obvious with it, then the teacher isn't going to do anything. However, about 5 minutes into class, Jack starts to hear, he just starts to hear the theme song. And so what's happening is like the kid, Ben, must be watching the Skibidi Toilet video, but must also be watching it like getting so into it. You know those like funny like try not to sing along challenges that were really big in like 2018 where it's like try not to sing, okay. Like, I don't know how you fail those challenges unless you're seriously not trying, bro. Like, are you serious? Try not to sing challenge? Okay. Dude, I'm gonna destroy every challenge like that. Try not to sing? Okay. That's just not that hard. Anyways, though, so he was getting so into it, and since his earbuds were in, he didn't realize how loud he was being. So all of a sudden, you see this kid, Ben, in the back of the classroom, bouncing around in his chair, screaming, Skibidi pop pop pop, yes, with his, like, very obviously, with his iPad out, watching a video, his earphones in. At this point, everyone turns around because he's basically screaming. And so the teacher turns around and is like, Ben, someone get his attention. So eventually some kid, like, kind of, like, taps Ben, and Ben, like, looks up, he's like, huh? Takes out his earbud for a second, and the teacher's like, Ben, we have a very strict no, like, technology rule at the school. And the thing is, too, Jack genuinely thinks that the teacher has known that Ben's been on his iPad for a while at this point. Yeah, so the teacher probably was giving him a pass because, I don't know, maybe the teacher was also annoyed by this kid, too. So he was almost, like, giving him a pass, like, if you don't make a big deal out of this to the point where I'm going to be seen as weak. Because the thing is, if this teacher, like, obviously notices and, like, it's clear to everyone that the teacher sees that Ben has an iPad and he's not reprimanded, then other people are going to start taking phones to school. They're going to start going on their phone in class. Like, you can't allow, like, these kids to make an example of you. You need to be strong with your rules. Like, that is super fair. So the teacher, at this point, since everyone's attention was brought to Ben by the way that he was screaming Skibidi Toilet lyrics, right? At this point, everyone's paying attention. It's a whole big thing. The teacher needs to take his phone away or his tablet. So the teacher, once he's gotten Ben's attention, is like, hey, you know that there's a very strict no technology policy. I'm going to have to take your iPad. I'm going to have it up here, and you can get your tablet by the end of class. The teacher wasn't even being that strict, being like, I'm sending it to the principal, I'm holding it till the end of the day, I'm taking it for the week. He wasn't even being that bad. He's like, yo, you're clearly, clearly, dude. Like, I bet, like, even if they had a less strict policy, that most teachers would still confiscate the device because this kid is not being chill with it. Anyways, though, so Ben is like, no, I must watch Skibidi Toilet, and then puts in his earpod. And at this point, the teacher was definitely being, like, strict with the rules, but it's understandable. But at this point, like, being blatantly disrespected in front of everyone is just unacceptable. Because imagine the teacher lets this slide. Dude, and no one would ever care if the teacher had a rule, because they'd be like, oh, well, we can just break it. Who cares? So the teacher, like, says, get his attention again, because he puts in his earpods or whatever, and he was already starting to sing, like, Scooby, but like, he was already getting into ignoring the teacher. So another student taps him on the thing again. He takes it out. He looks at the teacher with his big kind of look of like, what? What? What do you want me to do? Like, obviously, it's what? We obviously know what we want you to do, bro. Like, come on now. It's not that serious. Like, just give him the tablet. So the teacher's like, I'm going to take that tablet from you. And Ben's like, nuh-uh, like, I'm watching Skibidi Toilet. And he goes back he puts it back in. He puts it in his ear pods. And this time, the teacher's just making a beeline straight for this kid. He does not care. The teacher needs to show a sign of authority, obviously. So the teacher's walking towards this kid, goes straight down, and basically pulls the iPad out of his hands. And I think Ben is slipped out of his hands really easily because Ben was not even paying attention because he put in his earbuds and started listening to Skibidi Toilet again. So at this point, Ben looks up at him and says, give that back. I was middle of watching Skibidi Toilet. And the teacher's like, no, not only are you breaking a rule, but you disrespected my authority here. Respect my authority. You disrespected my authority here. Like, I'm not giving it back to you now, especially now. Because I don't think he was going to give it back to him, beforehand, but he especially is not going to give it to him now. You know what I mean? Like, he's especially not going to do it. Anyways, though, so Ben is like, no, I'm going to give you one chance to give this back to me. And the teacher's like, are you threatening me? And Ben's like, I'm just saying actions have consequences. And that was very ominous and weird. And the teacher's like, you and I are going to chat after class. So he's walking up to the front of the desk, puts the iPad down, and everyone's chatting about this now. And he's like, class, silence, please, let's go back to it. And yeah, very weird. Not every day that you have a kid, refuse to give up the iPad. Very strange. Real quick, if you made this far into the video, comment iPad down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. If you made this far into the video, thank you very much. The best way to support the channel is by watching these videos all the way through and then also watching a bunch of the videos in a row. So if you are binge watching these videos, please let me know what you are doing while binge watching the videos. And if you're on Spotify, make sure you rate the podcast 5 stars and are following it. And if there's a Q&A poll or something that is still open, make sure to fill that out. Anyways, though, so you guys might be thinking, okay, well, this is over. Whatever, the teacher took the iPad. Nothing much could come of this. Why is the title Skibidi Toilet Kid Almost Murders His Teacher, right? Wait a second. So anyways, the Skibidi Toilet Kid Ben is angry. He is fuming, one might say. So basically, he's sitting there all angry. And Alex sorry, not Alex. What did I even call the subscriber? Jack is watching because he's like, this is interesting. This kid is still very angry. So Ben is he's so angry and obsessed with Skibidi Toilet that he will do anything to watch Skibidi Toilet again. He must watch Skibidi Toilet. He must hear the Skibidi bump up, yes, song again and again and again and again. And you watch, and Jack watches as he's going through his backpack, very frantically going through his backpack. It's very weird. So Jack keeps watching. And he watches as Ben pulls out a pair of scissors, looks at them, and then puts the scissors behind his back. Almost one hand behind your back. If you play the game, am I holding one finger or 2 fingers behind my back, a 1 or a 2? Kind of in that position, except he was holding a knife there, not a knife, sorry, a pair of scissors to conceal it. So Ben stands up, still with the scissors behind him, and he starts walking slowly towards the teacher. And he starts saying I need the iPad back, Skibidi bop bop bop, yes, I need the iPad, Skibidi beep beep, mixing in between the Skibidi Toilet songs and I need the iPad. The teacher's like, Ben, no, you're not getting it, take a seat. So the people behind Ben kind of have this whoa, shocked expression because they see what's in behind him. They see what's in his hand. And the teacher must be feeling weird because as Ben gets closer, all the kids behind him in rows and rows, every single time he passes a row, all the people in that row, if they're paying attention, start to freak out. So anyways, he's getting closer and closer, and eventually he passes by Alex's row. So Alex does something that he doesn't need to do. Not Alex, sorry. Jack? Jack does something that he doesn't need to do, but he feels that it's necessary. He sticks out his foot. He trips Ben. Ben falls over. And when he falls over, he doesn't have his hand behind his back because he takes out both of his hands to stop his fall. He falls down, and then Jack jumps on top of him and pins down both of his hands. The Skibidi Toilet Kid, Ben, is a very small kid, so it's not as if there's going to be much of a fight back. And when that happens, two other kids who notice what we're going on get up and tackle this kid too. So they're all holding him down. They pull the scissors out of his hand, and the teacher's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then Jack, or one of the other kids, doesn't really matter, is like he was approaching you with this pair of scissors. This was behind his back. He obviously was upset you took his iPad. We just couldn't let this happen. So immediately security was called down. There was a whole thing about this. Like many teachers got together to discuss what's the punishment here. Like, this is freaking crazy. Like, we don't know what could have happened. Because I don't know, like, genuinely, what was he going to do? Was he just going to, like, pull out the scissors and be like, "Ooh, I'm so intimidating, give them back"? Would have been a big deal if he did that. But what if he just went insane and just, like, started attacking the teacher with the scissors? That's super dangerous. Like, you hit a main artery, but he's gone. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually a super big deal. So at this point, so Jack submitted this story to me over Instagram. Go to Instagram, look up connorpugs. I'm verified on there, so just message me. I think you have to follow me first and then message me your stories. He said that there wasn't a very clear conclusion. Like, there's a ton of rumors going around right now what happened to that Skibidi Bop kid. He's no longer in school, that's for sure. They don't know if he officially got expelled or sent to some psych ward or something, or both, or neither. Genuinely no idea what happened to the kid. All we know is that he's not in school right now.